So the daily problem today is keys and rooms, which, just like yesterday, is a graph problem. And I think most of the challenge is recognizing that it's a graph problem. There's a lot of fluff to this that makes it seem more daunting than it is. So it's saying there's n rooms labeled 0 to n minus 1. All the rooms are locked except room 0. So that's where you start, and then each room has keys that lead to each other room. So here room 0 has one key that leads to room 1, leads to room 2, leads to room 3, which is empty. But at that point, we've visited all the rooms, so we can return true. In the second example, we can go from 0 to 1 and 3. Great. But then we can't ever reach room 2 because they slid the key under the door. So once you recognize that it's a graph problem, all you really have to do is just perform a breadth first search or a depth first search. It's pretty much the same. And just see if you hit every node. So we can say Q equals DQ, and then we'll put 0 in it. Scene is a set. While Q, room equals Q.pop. So that's kind of the room we're currently in. This is very readable. I would just use single letters if it were up to me. For key in rooms at room. Still very, very readable. If key not in scene, or we could say if key in scene continue and then write this below. If key not in scene, Q dot append left key. And here I'll put, the moment we visit through a room, we'll say scene dot add room. And then all we really need to do is see if every element is in scene. And the way that we know that is if the length of scene is the same as the length of rooms. So when we run this, it should just be kind of random. This one was lucky because the servers were running a little quicker, but I think it's a pretty even distribution. And one thing that I've sort of noticed is these two humps of time complexity. I think depth first search is slightly faster, and literally the only change we would need in Python is to say q.append instead of q.append left. We really should change all the q's to STs. So I'll change it back. The other optimization I could see is instead of saying scene.add room here, we say scene.add key here. So that way, for example, if it's a queue, we're eliminating any situation where we add the same room to the queue multiple times before we visit that room. That's not going to change the answer, because the moment we visit that room multiple times, all of the adjoining rooms that it has keys to will have already been visited, so it's just redundant. And I don't even think it changes the big O notation, but it is less efficient. And then the final thing we'd have to do if we do this is say add 0 to the set. I guess it's a lot faster. But I still think it's random. I bet I could get below 10% if I kept clicking this. But that's the daily problem. This one's pretty crisp once you get the hang of it. There we go.